If Alphabet were a country, its 2025 revenue would literally give it a larger economy than most sovereign nations.
Which is, frankly, just wild to think about.
Right, over $400 billion.
Yeah.
But if you actually read their latest annual report, that number isn't some sort of victory lap, it's a war chest.
A massive one. They are reinventing their entire core architecture, while the engine is still running.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into exactly what that money is funding and how it is fundamentally rewriting the digital infrastructure you use every single day.
Yeah, let's get into it. The scale here is it's nation-state level.
It really is. So let's contextualize that war chest. They hit $402.8 billion in total revenue.
Insane.
And they cleared $132.1 billion in net income.
Hmm.
But here's the crazy part. To maintain those margins, they're planning an almost unbelievable $180 billion in capital expenditures for 2026.
Yeah, that number just jumps off the page.
I mean, that is double their 2025 spend. It's a 6x increase in just 4 years. So my question is, is that acceleration actually sustainable, or are they just panicking and throwing money at the AI wall?
Well, from the outside, it definitely looks frantic.
Yep.
But the CEO's notes make it super clear. They view this capital as the absolute bedrock of their survival.
Survival. Really?
Oh, absolutely. This cash is funding their new 7th-generation custom TPUs.
The tensor processing units, right?
Right, the Ironwood ones. And it's funding their Gemini 3 models to power what they're literally calling the year of the agent.
Okay, so for you listening, an agent basically means the end of, typing keywords into a box and just getting blue links.
Yeah, that era is ending.
It means trusting Google's AI to actually interface with other software, like booking your flights or reorganizing your calendar directly.
Which fundamentally changes the computing math. Holding that context open and
Right.
executing multi-step software commands, it requires exponentially more continuous server time than just a split-second search query.
Oh, wow, so it's a heavier lift.
Exactly. That continuous processing is exactly why they need those Ironwood TPUs. They are designed specifically for prolonged, complex AI reasoning, not just short bursts of data retrieval.
Okay, but building the hardware for prolonged reasoning is one thing. Writing the software for it is another. And this report shows humans are, barely doing that anymore.
Yeah, this is the part that blew my mind.
Nearly 75% of all new code at Google is now AI-generated. It's just approved by human engineers.
I mean, that is the paradigm shift in software engineering we have been waiting for. Google is basically turning its workforce from coders
Into code editors.
Exactly, code editors. The bottleneck is no longer how fast a human can type out commands. It's how fast the servers can compile and test the AI's output.
Right. And to protect and power all that machine-generated output, they went on a massive shopping spree.
They really did.
They bought the cloud security firm Wiz for a record $32 billion. And then they spent $4.8 billion on Intersect, which is a data center energy infrastructure company.
Yeah, the energy play is huge.
It's like building this massive high-tech vault for your data, only to realize you have to go out and buy your own power plant just to keep the lights on.
Well, I'd push back on that analogy just a little bit.
Oh, how so?
They aren't just buying a power plant to keep the lights on. They're buying it because they realize energy is literally the new data.
Interesting.
The AI revolution is constrained by physical realities, like grid capacity. Buying Intersect is an admission that securing dedicated power is now the primary hurdle to beating their competitors.
But buying power plants and custom silicon, that isn't cheap. To fund this massive build-out, Alphabet has had to fundamentally change its capital structure.
Oh, yeah. The debt.
Their long-term debt has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
It went from under $11 billion in 2024 to $46.5 billion in 2025.
Which is a huge jump. That sudden spike in leverage creates a very different risk profile for them.
Especially since their primary cash cow.
Digital advertising.
Right, advertising is facing intense regulatory heat.
Yeah.
The report details a $3.5 billion fine from the European Commission for ad tech self-preferencing.
Yeah, which basically means regulators decided Google used its dominance in search and Android to unfairly push users toward its own ad buying tools.
So they're artificially squeezing out competitors.
Yeah.
Add that to their other Gets division taking hits. Waymo just racked up a $2.1 billion employee compensation charge.
Yeah, that is not pocket change.
No. So with Waymo bleeding cash, European fines targeting their core revenue and total debt quadrupling are the foundational business pillars cracking under the weight of this AI pivot.
I mean, it is a systemic risk they haven't faced before. They are attempting this crazy high-wire act where the safety net
Privacy search revenue.
exactly is actively being penalized by regulators. I mean, they are richer than ever, but they are heavily leveraging debt to completely reinvent their product before someone else does.
So we've got a company with a financial footprint of a sovereign nation, navigating massive debt and regulatory fines just to physically power an AI-driven future.
It's a lot to take in.
It really leaves you with something to think about. If 75% of Google's new code is now being written by AI, and that AI is running on custom silicon built by its own profits,
Yeah.
at what point does it stop being a human-engineered search engine and become a fully autonomous self-building entity?
Now that is a thought.
Something to ponder.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.